Hello, welcome to my channel. Adele Delani here. I'm still on the topic of career skills, so I thought, I'll continue the conversation today on career skills. So let's talk about when you're searching for the job and a few tips related to it. Let's start with places to search. And we know the most obvious one is the newspaper. The paper ones, but you can also go to the website for the newspaper. They'll usually have the classified sections online, and stuff online tends to be updated faster. You could also ask the businesses when you visit them if they have jobs available, and if they do, how could you apply for the job? You could go to different businesses' websites. So online, you will look for like HR, which is human resources, or job, or use the word careers. Usually one of those three will take you to the website where the jobs are being posted. In your state, the Department of Labor could possibly have a website that they will manage where businesses can post jobs for free. For example, I live in Connecticut. Ours is called Connecticut Hires, and jobs are being posted there by companies that the Department of Labor employees work with, and it's a great place to go and look for employment. So say search for the Department of Labor, and then see if in your state, and then see if they have a website. The next one is if you could also look in your own state is your government jobs. So, for example, in Connecticut, our Department of Administrative Services, or Connecticut DAS, has an area where employment in Connecticut is listed, and they also have links to different state jobs that are not linked on their website. So, for example, judicial or higher ed have their own pages. Higher education universities. You could also look at your city website, the government website for the city, and they will usually also have a website where they list the employment that are available for the city. Federal jobs, you could use, for example, usajobs.gov. And I would say searching all of them because they could be an equivalent to the job that you're looking for at the government level. There are cities or states that may hire, for example, nurses, chefs, you need to search for whatever it is that you're looking for your employment at every level. Major online job search sites like Indeed, Monster, Glassdoor, and LinkedIn. Those are very popular. Because remember, jobs will have a finite amount of money that they can use to post their jobs online. So they have to look for the sites that will give them the most returns. They cannot post to every single website. So they'll look for the most popular ones, or the ones that have given them results in the past, or have a high number of site visits. Website visits, I should say. Craigslist. Now, be careful with Craigslist. Craigslist is great because it's free, but they have been scams that have been posted in there. Again, free, right? So scammers have put in information, and then I'm trying to remember, but I'm pretty sure I read where people were posting jobs to attract people to do harm to them. Others were posting jobs, and then for you to get the information for the job, you had to pay. You shouldn't have to pay to get job information. The job will usually pay to post the job information. You don't to get the job information. So be careful with that. In hiring companies. So those are the places I would say the most popular ones for you to look for employment. Now, when you're looking for employment, you have to vary your title search. So your job title. Don't just look, for example, if you're looking for customer service, don't just use the word customer service. You have to use other, for example, keywords that can be used to refer to that job, or keywords that you will find on that job. So I would say, for example, a nonprofit employment. There is this company that I see sometimes post their name instead of the job title. So when you see the name, you don't think to click on it because like you don't know what it is. I click on it because I wanted to check what the type of jobs this company was looking for, because it was in the non-profit area and I had a certificate for my students for which I was looking for employment, right? So I'm like, oh yes, when I saw what the job required, I'm like, my students can do that. So I usually with those students will look for this company because they don't put the title, they put their company name instead of the title when you're searching. So make sure that you bury your title search, and that you include keywords, for example, for things that could be done within that job when you're looking for employment, because that will give you more different results that you could go through, and you don't have to read the whole thing. Go straight to where it says eligibility. If the eligibility has stuff that you have, then go back and check what it is that you have to do for that job. That's kind of like easy, so you don't have to go through the whole thing to make sure that that's a job. If it is a title you don't know, to see if that's a job that you could apply for. Elevator pitch. This is important. Look up these words online that I give you sometimes, because you're gonna have plenty of websites giving you information, because this is just a short video. Elevator pitch is a pre-made how do I call this? A pre-made monologue, small piece about yourself that you say to someone when you meet them. So you met this person, you told them quickly in a few lines something about you. Go online, look how to create an elevator pitch, and then create it. So when you meet someone right away, you could say, hey, my name is XYZ, and I do this, little career profile about you, about the job that you're looking for, your skills. Network, friends, co-workers, bosses if you're really good friends with it. Anyone at the church, talk to everyone, network, make friends, tell them what you do for a living. If you're looking for employment, tell them that you're looking for employment. Keep all of this, because the thing, keep making all these connections, because that is called social capital. The bigger your social capital, your social network is related to employment, the easier for you it will be to connect to employment and possibly to get referrals for employment. Keep, if you can print out a small business cards for career search. So it's like a mini resume, but in a business card. So because you're not gonna have like all these copies of your resume in your like wallet or purse. But you could have this little business cards with your information in it. So you will have things like, for example, your name, your phone, your email, your career profile, that is like the elevator pitch, like 2 or 3 lines about you, about what your career has been, with your key skills and certifications listed in it, and your LinkedIn address. You should have a LinkedIn address. This is like social media, Facebook kind of thing, but for employment, for jobs. It's a professional network. So go in there and create your LinkedIn profiles where you can create your resume in it, and then you have the link right there, and people can go on it and they can see all the information about you and the jobs that you have done and everything else. Right there with you. You meet someone, you give them that, because if they're interested, you may get a call. You never know. Career profile, go online and search that. That's usually where you're replacing the objectives and resumes. I talked about that in another video. But just go online, look for career profiles for my resume, and then you kind of like can see a couple lines, what you could do for your business card, for your resume. And don't let doubt or a negative mind close doors without even opening them. Sometimes we close our own doors. We say, I'm not going to apply to that because they're not going to select me, or they're not going to like me, or, I don't have what, these people that are working there have. No, apply. Don't close the door, because immediately you're not applying, you're making the negative idea that you have happen. You're bringing it to you because you didn't apply. If you have the qualification for the job, then apply for the job, because you never know. You could get calling for a interview. If the interview didn't get you a job after, use it as practice. What do you do? What did what do you do bad in the interview for the next one around? Just always keep positive and always use everything as a way to grow. Okay, that's it. If you have any questions, send me a message.